finally able to go ahead and try out the brand new ominous Nebula ZELDRIS. I'm so glad he has some better costumes than the new Esterosa. I don't know why, I just don't really like many of the Esterosas, or pretty much any at all of the Esterosa's costumes. They're okay. I do really like this SSR one more than the UR one. I don't know why, I feel like his model just looks a little bit weird in this form, and then when it comes to his other costumes, I feel like this wolf one would be the best, but even then it just doesn't suit the character whatsoever, and the braces and the headpieces aren't anything special for Esterosa. But having a look at the new ZELDRIS here, pretty much all of his costumes are really good. The SSR one, a little bit Hawaii, but from his SSR one or his other SSR one that you can purchase with gems, along with his UR one and the two purchasable ones, were all really sick costumes. I mean, look at the hat on this one, come on, you gotta give it to him. Only down parts of this ZELDRIS is, unfortunately, he does only have one skill, him being, or what was supposed to be, the perfect support for the brand new Esterosa. We really wanted him to have those double AoE cards. Him having the Infect is still very powerful, but if we have a look at the rest of his kit, his first card inflicts pulverized damage equal to 450% of attack on one enemy. If the hero's ultimate move gauge has 4 orbs or more, removes 1 orb from the enemy's ultimate move gauge. The second card, which is the Infect card, inflicts damage equal to 280% of attack on all enemies, infects for 2 turns. The ultimate, which we did end up getting 2/6, inflicts weak point damage equal to 231% of attack on all enemies. And last but not least, the passive, in PvP for every applicable ally on the battlefield, increase those allies' attack related stats by 4% and decreases all enemies' attack by 6%. The applicable allies are demons or characters with the commandments, so just including those characters like Glocks and Droll. Jumping over to the gear here, he is going to be best run on the HP defense set, no crazy rolls or anything like that on the pieces. He just isn't the ideal character, especially having the pulverized card at those low ult levels. Earlier on in the turns, he's not going to be putting out a crazy amount with that one, and then jumping over to the cosmetics, he is almost maxed out. I was just missing out on enough to get the headpiece done, but yeah, that's right. Doesn't really, or not so much a character that needs to be maxed out when it comes to cosmetics. I feel like he's going to get a lot of value out of his utility, that being the Infect card and his passive, but this is the team we're going to be using today. Super excited to try him out with this Esterosa and the Team Ellie, and let's dive in. And hopefully we can find a good variety of teams. Definitely not what we want to be starting off with though. This green Sariel does such a good job at countering the demon teams. If we can have a couple of these turns though, starting off with an extra AoE card, that would also be perfect. But let's see, let's go for this here. And then I think attacking into the Sariel, that way he gets the extra darkness effect, meaning when we get into this next turn, when he inevitably puts up his counter, we can get the kill on him just that little bit faster. Oh my god. Look at Trader Melee go. And never mind, just finishing off the Sariel there. The amount of stat boost we're going to get from the ZELDRIS passive, the Esterosa passive, everything boosting this team. I can imagine when we go over to back to our turn, inspect our characters, they're going to have some really good stats, even though we are missing out on what could have been another AoE darkness, and the ZELDRIS won't have any of those debuffs on him either. Also some really good card draw for the Esterosa. It's a shame this match isn't going to last as long as those cards are going to be needed for. Liz attacking into us a little bit. Let's see, they're probably not going to be as high as expected just because we're missing out on that extra character there. Let's have a look at the melee. Yeah, an extra 61. Nothing super over the top. Esterosa almost at that 300k. Unfortunately, no extra AoE cards. Let's go one. Yeah, I'd really like to get rid of you. We'll just go ahead and spam these. We'll hold on to the level 3 just in case, but with us throwing those 2 cards out there, I can imagine the 2 Flood cards will kill the Elizabeth. Yeah, I probably should have gone ahead and thrown the level 3 Tentacle Blade into Margaret and just hope it killed. Will the level 1 kill? Surely not, right? Yeah, I was thinking it might because the level 90, but hey, that's all good. And we can show off the Esterosa ult, unless he gets a merger on the Demonic Hellzone card for ZELDRIS. That card pretty much at the level 2 does the ult disable and then gives dissolve, so getting 2 turns of guaranteed ult control, which is really good. Really like this ZELDRIS as well. I'm not too sure which one will end up being better for the team. It is a little hard. The Persecution of ZELDRIS is just such a good backline support and works for pretty much all the debuff teams which run rampant in PvP, ever since Kyo pretty much. So this ZELDRIS, I would have absolutely loved for him to have had that second AoE card. And still a little confused as to why they made the ZELDRIS a exclusive unit. It just means he's going to be showed on a lot less banners than he would if he were to be a regular banning unit. This is a really good starting hand for us. Let's go for this here, and hopefully if everyone survives, we'll have a crazy amount of stats when it comes back to our team. But yeah, summoning on the ZELDRIS, although it would seem like a good idea because he is an exclusive character once again, he will be returning, so he's not never going to back, and I was thinking I would go the second rotation, but right after I got done doing my summons, turns out we are going to be getting a ReZero rerun, either within the next update or the update after that. So 2 new characters, which I personally haven't watched ReZero. I believe their names were Echidna and Reinhard from memory. I briefly looked over it, but if you guys are excited to have those in the game, by all means let me know, because I had a quick look at their characters. The Echidna seemed to be a really cool looking character when it comes to design, but I know Reinhard didn't seem to be anything special to me. Let's go for the merge on the ZELDRIS and we'll go for the level 2 AoE, see how much damage we can get to. Oh, surely Kaluto, right? Yeah, perfect. Go for the level 2 on Merlin and then we can finish this one off with the ultimate. Oh wow, that was actually really good. Yeah, the max ult gauge helps out those characters so much, it's crazy. He'll definitely be... Oh, here's me forgetting Merlin has ult drain. That's alright, we'll get into the next opponent. And the ZELDRIS was actually critting a lot there. I'm not too sure if that was because it was on the Queen Shot Merlin. She's a little bit older of a unit, so her substats wouldn't be the best in the world, but we'll definitely have to see. I could definitely see him being a really good DPS unit. Maybe even potentially being used in some alt rush teams, although I feel like it is really hard to try and run an alt rush team and not just instantly put Trader Melee as the best unit for the team. He just synergizes so well. In the ultimate, we don't have another AoE ultimate in the game that does nearly as much damage. Oh my. The triple AoE start is just far too powerful. The main reason why Demon Hendrickson has been so strong in today's meta. Although I still wouldn't say Esterosa is the best team. Man, when it comes to countering the Esterosa team, if you're looking for some easy wins, run the Bloody Ellie team with Green Sariel. You are going to be raking in victories. And then other than that, I feel like a couple of the other teams are still really, really strong. Demon Lord Rimmer is still definitely up there, that's for sure. Let's see, let's go ahead and inspect the boys, see how their stats are looking. Yeah, that's a little bit better, an extra 100,000 there for the max HP. Looking then to be the same for ZELDRIS, yeah, a little bit more. And then we'll inspect the Esterosa as well. A little under the 100,000, but that's alright. What do we want to go for? Once again, no extra AoEs. We'll just chuck out those, why not? I'm pretty confident in the level 2 Amplify card. Especially if he's critting, my oh my. Usually with these showcases, I've been putting Sariel on Esterosa, because he's kind of been the main vocal point, but putting it back to melee, you definitely see the damage. Oh, easy wipe. God, this team is a whole lot of fun. And first unknown team in the video, wow. Quite some high CC on that one as well. The Blue Christmas Awaken Lily of Rimuru combo is real scary. Contemplating on whether or not I want to use the 2 infect cards on the first turn, get the extra darkness, or I want to save them for a later one. That's the thing, the extra stats just ends up helping out so much, and with those 2 cards being put down, the Trader Melee will do some nasty damage with his AoE Pierce card. The only thing is they made the ZELDRIS in such a way to make him not as viable with the Trader Melee as he is with the Assault Melee, which I do definitely like. It's when are we really going to get another time to use Assault Mode Meliodas, and it's been so long since he's been viable. Even upon his release, people didn't think of him to be a super crazy good unit, and just like that, our Esterosa is dead. Do we just lose here? We definitely could. Oh, and the merger on the ZELDRIS card actually cucking us. Why not? Let's go for this here. I don't think we stand too much a chance, especially having Ragnarok Barn in the front. This game is... I don't care how many metas we go through, this game is always going to be a battle of who has the highest CC. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely teams that can come out on top, but you go first, man. It's such a big advantage. Not only do you get to throw out cards and potentially even wipe someone else's unit turn 1, but your team's going to be stronger regardless, unless you are just HP buffing yourself and only using that on all your characters. It's a good way to play the game, but I feel like it is also fun to have, you know, your Trader Melee hitting those 3 million damage ultimates and oh wow, all that kind of stuff. But damn, but even if you put Rimuru HP defense, that Pierce singles target still does so much damage, and here I am stuttering like crazy. And don't worry, because we still have this last and final match. The Assault Melee teams, man, they're always so scary. Thank God he isn't running the Sigurd combination though. Who do we want to go for? Do we try and ship into the melee right out the gate? I'm super curious as to why they also didn't make the ZELDRIS a red character, giving full type coverage over the, well, it should be always usually the regular team being the Assault Melee instead of the Trader Melee. Oh, I was really hoping we'd get rid of them there. Them removing the 3 debuffs we have on us would have been perfect. That's right though. Once again, no extra AoE cards. Seems weird, although we are raking in a whole bunch of Esterosa cards, which is probably gonna end up being preferred. Yeah, especially him putting up the counter there. It is a good strategy to do, especially if you're going first. You get a lot more long-term investment of it, but if you're not going to be able to get the full counters out and get a full value out of your turn of counter, I don't know, man. The Chandler actually having his Holy Relic release in this update as well, which is pretty cool. 1, 2, and then I think, yeah, I might go for the Talon Assault melee there. Although Esteros is still alive, and he can start building up those, or continue to build up those darkness effects. Oh wow, Chandler actually doing some good damage. Yeah, having the debuffs and all that kind of stuff going from the assault melee gonna be a lot better for us. And there we go, finishing off with a win. If we could, I really would have liked to have gotten a level 3 single target card. All of his Zeldris' animations are so goddamn good. I really like how throughout almost all of the forms of Zeldris, oh, actually it's probably only him and the blue Zeldris, but they both have that AoE where it kind of does the sword sheath, and has the, you know exactly what I'm talking about, the cool anime card effect. But let's go ahead and, that was our perfect chance to get an extra single target card. Oh well, we'll throw these out and then we'll wrap up the video. But definitely happy for how Zeldris has showcased, even as a support character. I will definitely try him out on some teams where we maybe even move him over to the attack crit set, see what he can do there, maybe pair him up with Ludo. And there we go, our first 5 matches using this Zeldris, and once again I am very impressed with how he showcased. Of course, he is pretty much maxed out, although we did unfortunately not get to see any full ultimates. I do definitely like the fact that he is an AoE ultimate, and having weak point as well. They can always just go ahead and chuck real bad effects on cards to kind of nerf a character, but the fact that they didn't give him the double AoE, I feel like he does have the right to have a really, really strong ultimate. Of course, we didn't get to see it, so I know it could be a little underwhelming, but weak point does always work really well, and with the amount of debuffs this team gives out, you'll be just fine getting that kind of stuff out, especially if you're using the assault melee variant. But there we go, that just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit like and subscribe, really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.